Hi, I'm Dr. Charles Fay of the Love and Logic Institute. Teachers, can you really have a well-behaved classroom and also have a blast with the kids? And our answer is absolutely, as long as you remember the balance. See, some people make the mistake of trying to be friends with their kids, their students, and they don't provide enough limits or discipline. And obviously that blows up. And then there's other teachers who try to provide all this discipline, but they don't have relationships with students. And obviously that one topples over too. If you've worked with kids for any period of time, you know how important relationships are. So that's the first hint about Love and Logic. We're all about those relationships. So classroom management, relationships, they go together. Another piece of it has to do with how I establish myself as someone who has some power and authority. Now, do I do that by barking orders and telling people what to do? Or do I do that by controlling my own behavior? And have you noticed that the only person that you can actually control is yourself? And that's even hard on a lot of days? Well, Love and Logic teaches a trick for helping us to stay focused on who we can control, us. And that trick, or that technique, is called the enforceable statement. So instead of me trying to tell other people how to behave, like, hey, cut that out over there, you keep your hands to yourself, I'm going to come across more like this. Hey guys, I allow students to remain seated where they'd like to sit as long as it doesn't cause any problems, as long as I can teach. And instead of saying, hey, hand your papers in on time, or if you don't hand your papers in on time, all the lectures. I say, hey, I grade on-time papers during the week they're due. Some teachers even decide to say, hey, I grade late papers during the summer, which creates a bit of conversation among the students about how they're going to get credit. But really, what we're also about is getting them thinking harder than we are. Another example of the enforceable statement might be a kid who argues, and this is not fair, and the wonderful Love and Logic teacher says, hey, when do I argue? And they smile. Nice, loving smile, but a powerful demeanor. Power and love at the same time. What an amazing combination. They smile at the kid and they say, hey, when do I argue? Oh, and look at the sign, right? Hey, there we go. And every teacher needs to have this sign. I argue at 11:30 and 3 o'clock daily. Make an appointment. Of course, the kids are going to say, well, that's during lunch and after school. And that's when the teacher smiles and says, I know. And if you would like to talk to me, I'd be more than happy to listen when your voice sounds calm like mine, and when I've finished my teaching. Well, thanks for joining me for this little snippet of Love and Logic in the classroom. There are so many other things I'd like to share, but lastly, I just want to remind you, you don't have to use a lot of complicated techniques to have a happy and well-behaved classroom. What you need is just the right balance of love and logic.